Hi everybody, a very happy new year to you all. It's January, can you believe it? I'm back with your home heart projects, your art craft activities to go with your Scottish theme this time. I hope you're doing a lot of amazing Highland dancing and flinging each other around. So the first thing I've got for you is some tartan bunting. Here it is, looking beautiful in my window. So this is nice and simple. We're going to make some tartan paper and then cut it up to make our bunting. So you're going to need some different papers. You can use white paper or coloured paper like I've got here. You're going to need some masking tape, some scissors, some paints. Any paints will do, it could be liquid ones or little block ones like I have here, and some colouring pencils. You could use felt tips. This is one of these ones where you can just use whatever you've got. So I'll show you how I've done it and then you can just adapt it to whatever you've got there. So first thing I'm going to do is start making my tartan paper. So I have got a piece of blue paper here. I'm going to start by sticking down some stripes of masking tape. So I can just actually tear that. And I'm going to use this, it's going to resist the paint. So I don't want it to be too sticky. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually just stick it to myself. And that's going to give it, it's going to make it a little bit fluffy, but it's also going to make it less sticky. So do that and then stick it down onto the paper. So I've put my first stripe here. I'm going to do a series of different stripes going all the way down. So again, I can just stick it to myself like that and then onto the paper. I'll do one more and move on to the next step like this. And you can stick it anywhere on your leg, on your jumper like mine. Okay, so I have got a stripy piece of paper now. And what I'm going to do is just splash paint all over it. So paint's going to go onto these parts, and where the tape is, it's going to resist, so that when it's dry and you pull it off, you'll end up with a stripy design. So I'm just going to get some of this yellow here, and I'll show you the first stage. So all I want to do is just paint in there, and like I said, it can be any type of paint, and I'm just doing it so it goes over the edges onto that masking tape like that. And this is one that was already dry there, so you can see that the paint is in between the stripes. Now what I can do is carefully pull off these stripes here, and you get the blue underneath left behind. That's quite satisfying, this part. There we go, and I've got one more there. So now I've got some stripes going that way. If you look at tartans, they normally have lines this way and then also lines going down the way. So I'm going to repeat that process again by putting some stripes going the other way. Again, making them less sticky. I'm just sticking it to my leg down here. Like this. And you can mix up the design. You can do thin stripes and thick stripes. If you really wanted to, you could look up some different tartan patterns and you can copy the colours and the block shapes. You can make up your own one, which is for your own surname. Let's put one more on here. Okay, so this time I have done a thin stripe, then a thick block, then a thin stripe, then a thick block. And I'm going to do the same thing and just paint over that again. You can do it in different colours for different stripes or a different colour for the whole thing. And I've got one here that is painted twice. It's still a little bit wet, but you can see. So I've got the thin stripes and the thick stripes. And I've done that one in a yellow and that one in a green. You can slightly see the difference on this. So at this stage, I can then start to add a little bit more detail. So if you see on, I wonder if I can just take this off to show you a bit more closely. There we go. So here you can see that I have used coloured pencil to add detail. So I've gone across with a red there, and it makes it more like a fabric texture. So I'll just do a little bit and then I'll show you in the camera. I've got a red coloured pencil here. Make sure you wait for these to dry before you start doing this. Okay, so you can see I've run my pencil and I made a little hole there. So do wait for it to dry properly before you start. And you can also do a different colour right across as well. So once you've got all of that done, you can make them into the triangle shapes that you need for your bunting. So if you have an A4 like this one, I found the easiest thing to do was fold it in half. Like that, and then fold it in half again, but you don't need to do a crease all the way along. Just make a little mark, just fold it a little bit at the bottom there. And what you're going to do now is cut from the little mark you've made to the top here, from the mark here to the top there. And you'll end up with 3 triangles. Now, it is 3 because cleverly, the bit that you leave behind becomes the same shape and size. So I'll show you that now. So I've done that side, I'm now going to cut down here. So we've got 2 here. And if we unfold this one, we've got a 3rd one. You'll have a couple of spare bits left over. Hold on to those because we're going to need those for making our next activity. So once you have got a load of these different ones, different colours, you're going to get your wool like this and a piece of tape, and then all you can do is stick that onto there. And you've got your display. I'll show you this one closer up here. Because there's so much that you can do with the colours. And there we go. Right, I hope you enjoy that. I think your places will all be looking amazing if they've got tartan bunting everywhere. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Bye for now.